Okay guys, just doing a little update. We're working on the Vista Cruiser out here. We've replaced the center link and everything, but the steering is still sticky, and I've been going through the diagnostics on the factory manual, and I found out it's probably the gearbox. So what I did is I pulled the pitman arm off. You can't see it, but it's not on the ground. It's still bolted to the center link. But there's the pitman arm right back. It's off the gearbox though. And what we did was we then came inside the car, took the horn button off and everything, and we are checking the turning torque of the wheel with a turning torque wrench. And the factory spec is when you spin this and the pitman shaft is disconnected, or the pitman arm is disconnected, there should be no more than 16 inch-pounds of turning torque. But we were getting 55, 56 in that neighborhood. And this is for the overcenter adjustment. And I came out here, we were looking at the overcenter adjustment, and it was all the way tight. Like, it was all the way in. It was like half a turn from being all the way in. Well, that's not right. So we have like my light setup. It's just the dummy strap wrapped around with a hanging mag light. That's how you do it. I do have my nice Milwaukee light in there, but we're just not using it, and honestly I don't know why. But anyways, so we backed it all the way out. The book says loosen up the nut, back this all the way out, and then go in half a turn, and then measure your turning torque. So that's what I did through the center. It's 4.5 with the steering, with the pitman shaft disconnected. It's 4.5 turns. Stop poppet valve to poppet valve. So 2 1/4 to the center, and you have to measure the turning torque all the way through the center. So we're measuring it. We've been getting an average of around 7.5. You can see the red needle right there. It's a little hard to see, but right there, that's 7.5, the line it's on right now. So we've been getting about 7.5, even down to 5, but as high as 9. Like right there, you guys saw 9. If we go back through, it's hard to see because it's a camera. But right there is 9. We'll try and see right there. Still 7.5. Oh, right there is 9. Right there is 9. Just shy of 10. So yeah. So what we do then, we come in here, and you can read what the book says the adjustment needs to be. We go in, over center adjustments. Disconnect the horn wire, didn't do that. We're being careful not to activate the horn. Count the number of turns. To locate the steering wheel at center, check the combined ball and thrust bearing preload with an inch-pound torque wrench on the steering shaft nut by rotating through the center of travel. Note the highest rating, 9 inch-pounds. Tighten the pitman shaft adjusting screw until the torque wrench reads 4 to 8 inch-pounds higher than the previously read torque on the steering shaft. Rotate the torque wrench to the center of travel at least half a turn each side of center while making this adjustment. The total over center preload should not exceed 16 inch-pounds. So all we have to do is we're gonna go we're just gonna add the minimum. We're gonna add 4. That puts us at 13, because 9, so we can go 13 to 15. Oh, we could add 4 to 7 inch-pounds. Not quite the max, so that's good. That means I think our thrust bearing is not totally junk. Now, this is going to be considerably looser. Our steering wheel lash was a little high before, like a little too much. So this might be, there might be a little too much steering wheel ash after we make this adjustment, but if it's you're gonna have a good return to center, I think I can live with it. It might be the rag joint that's worn. So even though this is, we've diagnosed this as the cause for it being a poor return to center, not the ball joints, not the steering assembly, I'm still very glad I did it, because the upper ball joints were junk on both sides. The lower ball joints were junk on both sides. They weren't like the worst I've ever seen. They probably could have gone further, but there were divots and they were grindy, and no, I wanted to replace them. It was a good thing I did. And the steering adjustments, I'm getting in alignment. I don't want to have to get in alignment. I'm doing an alignment myself, I should say. I don't want to have to do an alignment. Then, the outer tie rods go, or the inner tie rods go, and then have to replace them and then do the alignment again. That's just, rather put the new parts on, get aligned, and it'll be good for a long, long time. So yeah, I know it says make the adjustment while you're turning the wheel. I don't really have a helper, so we're gonna make small adjustments and then turn the wheel and see what we get. And then we will tighten down the nut, recheck it, hook the pitman arm. We'll hook the pitman arm back up, get that torque down to 200-ish foot-pounds. I think it's like 180 to 210. And we will take it out for a test drive and see how it steers. All right, guys, I'm pretty sure the steering is fixed, mostly. There's a little bit too much on-center play for my liking, but we're gonna wait until I get an alignment in it, and then we'll see how it is then. And then we will, if we want to tighten it up a little bit, we will, but I don't think the over-center adjustment is going to take the steering wheel lash out. But let's start it up. Let's go for a little drive and show you guys what I mean. Oh, didn't hold it long enough. There we go. And there's the clock we put in. Perfect. So let's just go for a little cruise, why don't we? Go cruise some Vistas. And also this is straight right now. So it's definitely worse than it was. It used to be like that. Now it's like that. So, but you'll see the steering wheel will return without me having my hand on it when we make this turn. Ready? Here we go. Straighten out, let go of the wheel. Oh, look at that, it straightens out, but it doesn't do it all the way. But it's definitely more stable on the highway now too. And it's definitely easier to drive. Like, I'm making minimal adjustments and the car is going straight. I mean, we're only going 30 miles an hour, but it is much better. You guys can hear the rear end as well, maybe. I don't know if you can. And like lane changes are nice. I can steer it with one finger now, which is how it should be with this Vero ratio power steering. So yeah, it's much nicer now. And you can see how dirty the windshield is. It's showing up a lot worse on camera. Might be the lens too. It might be the lens a little bit. Well, it's the way it is. Yes, that's what it looks like when I'm driving the car. Right there. Very nice. Sort of a passenger view. There you go. then we will catch up with you guys when we get there, so you guys can see how much nicer it cruises on the highway now. Okay, here we go. We're going to the roundabout just before the on-ramp, and you can see the steering wheel return when we go through. When we let go, oh, and it just wants to return back to center. Perfect. Now let's really get on it. Let's get up to highway speeds. You can hear that exhaust leak, you can hear the wind noise, you can hear the rear end. Still not a perfect car, but she is smooth going up these. The steering wheel does not stick at all. Very nice. I wish you guys could feel this. This thing is smooth as butter. No jerky movements. I can show you the input I'm putting into the steering wheel. Keep it going straight, like nothing. Like normally for a lane change, it was ridiculous how much the car would jerk around, but now she just smooths it. And it's a little windy right now. We're on a bridge over a lake. It's a little windy, but there's like no input. Yeah, I'm very happy with it.